Good morning, everyone. Thank you for coming here in person or from your room. And my name is Eve Zeiler. I work usually at the True North Health Foundation, but I'm also a raw vegan since 5 years, and I'm all passionate about raw vegan food and food preparation. Today we don't have that much food as usual, but it's going to be about carob. So here I have my carob pots. Have you ever seen those?
No.
Yeah, those are carob pots, and they grow on trees. They're usually from Israel or Mediterranean regions. But these actually grow local here in San Rafael, so it's not far away. It was a tree. A friend of mine gave it to me, Sebastian Baum. I'm very thankful for that. So he picked this from San Rafael, tree ripened, so you really have to make sure that it's ripe, otherwise they can be astringent. And did you ever use carob powder?
Yes. Yeah.
It's a chocolate replacement, they call it. Usually they roast it and powder it. It has a chocolatey taste, a little bit sweetness to it. But those are fresh from the tree ripened and not roasted. And you can also eat them unroasted. You can eat them like this.
Where do you get them? I mean, do you get them?
Those?
Yeah.
I got them from my friend Sebastian. He gave them to me. He harvested them from San Rafael, so which is really not far away. Local carob, so it grows here locally in California. You can also order it online, or of course you can also order the powder if you don't want to do the whole process. I have a if you send me an email, my email is on this board, then I can send you my list of foods that I buy online. I also have a carob powder from Australia, which is really truly raw, and I think that's the best carob powder that I could find online. But it's really fun to have the whole pots. You can really chew on these pots if you want to. They're not that hard, so they break. They're a little bit crispy. I kind of find they're like chocolate waffles, and they smell. I was a Nutella kid, so I grew up on Nutella as a kid. But I like the Nutella on the German rye bread, a little toasted maybe, then margarine on it, and then the Nutella. But if I smell this, it really reminds me of it. And I don't miss the yucky Nutella. It's just, I wouldn't even like it now. This I like. Okay, so we have the whole carob pots. Now either you eat it like that and you just have it in your pocket like St. John's in the past times, or you can try to make your own powder.
Do you eat the pod?
Oh yes, you only eat the pod. So if you open this up, we're gonna open this up now. So you can use a hammer or a hard surface. I like to use my stones. They are free outside. Those stones you get free outside. So I like these flat stones for flat surface, and then a little stone for my that fits well my hand, and then I just hammer it here. And you see it is quite soft, some crispy, and then you see some stones, some seeds come out. And you do want to eat the pods, not the seeds. The seeds are rock hard. If I was here, I could not do it. It's like so rock hard. You cannot eat those. You can't even grind them up, I think. Maybe you can grind it up with a really powerful grinder, but the seeds you don't want to eat the seeds.
Okay.
It's the pods you want, which makes it actually a fruit. It is pretty much a fruit. It's just a really dry fruit. And yeah, so if it comes from the tree very ripe, it's already dry. So it dries already on the tree really. It will dry up a little bit more probably if you store it, but it stores also really well. I think this is actually from last year's harvest. And then you make sure that there are no seeds in here. And then you put it in. I already prepared a little bit this morning. This is all the cleanup pots. And yeah, so I mean, we don't have to continue. Like, I think this is already locked, but I'm just gonna show you the process. Careful with your fingers. And yeah, it takes a while. So maybe if you have a big family, they're all gonna help you with that. Or if not, then, I mean, you also don't have to make so much powder for yourself then. And by myself, and sometimes I do things like that, and sometimes just eat it. And the benefits of carob, so in comparison to cacao, which this is the chocolate replacement of cacao, pretty much, people use it as that. So this has 0 fat. It doesn't have, well, everything has a little bit of fat, but this has pretty much no fat. And it also doesn't have the caffeine-like compound that you find in cacao. And it has a lot of beneficial fiber and antioxidants. And it does have fiber. It has a little bit of sugar. It's a little bit sweet, so it does have a little bit more carbohydrates. And but studies show that it lowers your blood sugar and also your blood pressure. It could lower your blood pressure. So it's really healthy. It's really healthy stuff. So I guess St. John's ate it for a reason. I guess he was a smart guy, right? And it smells. How it smells? It smells like a chocolate muffin. Do you smell it? I mean, I can.
Not through there.
I mean, yeah, I know. It smells really good. I mean, you can smell it. I wouldn't mind if you smell it. I'm not afraid of diseases that come outside, from the outside. I'm afraid of diseases that come from inside because all of the diseases come from the inside. And, that's what we all do here. We make sure that your insides are very healthy and stable and your immune system is good. That's why we eat healthy here. So if you don't eat healthy, then everything can kill you. Really everything.
No truer words have ever been spoken.
And yeah, I mean, that's life, you know. We are more microbes than anything else, so we can't hide from microbes. It's impossible. Even the viruses are really beneficial for our existence. I mean, they created our DNA, really. So nature created us, so I'm fine with interacting with nature and with you as well because you're nature.
Wild people.
Yes.
Synergy.
That's very interesting because I just looked up the St. John's bread, they called it.
Yeah.
And so in other words, in the translations, they sometimes translate it as locust, locusts, but it's actually locust bean or something.
Yes.
So
Yeah, and
it's
then
actually-
they thought he ate crickets, but how are you storing crickets in your pocket, you know?
So it's actually these carob bean pods.
Yeah. That's why it's called St. John's bread. Yes. That's the locust. It is actually a locust tree, right? Is it? Is the tree in the locust family?
Locust beans.
Yeah. I think the wood also is really, really good on that tree. Makes really hard wood. Yeah, so you can have also try a piece of this if you want to. Oh, I really have to take care that I don't put any seeds in here. I did, right?
But that's interesting because, so in other words, he wasn't eating little insects.
Yes.
He was-
That
he was
doesn't make
eating
any sense.
He was eating plants.
I mean, that locusts are kind of big too. I mean, if you were thinking about bugs,
Yeah, you have to
It's
try
not
them
really
and then
easy.
you put them in your pocket.
I mean, they're chunky, you know. So
Yeah,
It'd
so
be very good to chew on.
it's also really messy, but I mean, we can try that in different ways here. You can try these pieces, and then you have to take care that you don't eat the seeds. You just chew on it, and then you spit out the seeds. If you want to try it, you're welcome to try it. Nobody wants to try it these days. But I would recommend. You can also take it in your room and wash it, or yeah. So this, yeah, you see it. I don't know where. Just make this one, and then we'll pretty much have enough for dessert as well. And then, yeah, you need some kind of grinder. Just want to grind this up.
Coffee grinder?
Yes. I got a coffee grinder from the kitchen, but it's not really powerful. Yeah, these seeds want to jump away. So you can plant the seeds too. You want to have the seeds planted in your garden?
And in 100 years, we'll have a tree.
Oh, you're gonna live 100 years if you eat healthy. So. Okay. So what else is in here? Of course, you can find a different method to get the seeds out. Hammer, something else. But I like my stone method. It's just a little bit messy. It's just dry from both. So. Okay, then we make our powder. I don't know if I missed some seeds, but I think the coffee grinder will be okay with it, even if I miss a seed. And yeah, I'm just gonna put this in here. Yeah, the coffee grinder here is not very powerful, but I already tried it. It will be a little bit gritty, but it's okay for our purpose. So I'm just gonna grind it up. Too bad, actually. So we have the powder.
Oh, wow.
Does it smell good?
It does smell good. To be honest, this coffee grinder had some other spices in there, so it smells a little bit like these spices do. Yeah, it smells the spices.
I got a piece, thanks. For later after I make my gas.
Candy?
Can't eat stuff now.
Oh, she
Thank
was
you,
smell
Candy.
it. She wasn't saying eat it.
No, I mean,
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you can eat it. Yes, you can eat the thing and chew on it, and then spit the seeds out. Yeah. So it's kind of okay, I think. If you want to have it a little bit more finer, I didn't want to put the bigger pieces in the blender because it could scratch your plastic of the blender. This is kind of fine, so if you have it a little bit finer, then you can just put it in the blender dry. But maybe you also just have, just gonna check if there are any seeds here. But if you have a really powerful coffee grinder, a little bit more powerful than this, then it definitely will work.
It's surprising how sweet this is.
It is sweet, huh? Okay, let's blend this up a little bit. It's fine powder. And it smells good. Yes, so you have here, it's fine powder actually. I mean, it's not super fine that you get in the store probably. I think it's fine powder. You smell it now? A little bit?
Because we have our masks on.
Well, we're so far away, so I would like to do.
Yeah.
There's nothing gonna happen. Unless you really believe in it, that something bad will happen. So yeah, this is the fine powder.
Very cool.
With fire. And it's quite a lot, huh? It didn't, maybe that amount, well, how many was it? I processed them 1 hour before I got here, so 1 hour and maybe, yeah, about 1 hour I did this amount. And it's quite a lot of powder, so it's not too much work, actually. And you don't have to powder it all at once. So, okay, the other thing is, do we have enough for, maybe we don't have enough for our cake. Maybe this is for the, I don't usually measure a lot, so also the things, they always taste different. But we're gonna grind up a little bit more just for the coffee grinder for our crust, for our dessert. So we're gonna make a dessert, and I'm planning to make all the ingredients are here already for the cake. So we have bananas, and I'm gonna make a crust with bananas and carob for the cake. And then the cream, I will have a cream made of avocados, dates, and carob. And that's pretty much it. Maybe we'll sprinkle some carob on top. And that's it. I like it simple. Grind these up a little bit. With the coffee grind actually. And for the cake crust, it doesn't need to be super grind up, so it can be a little bit. Even for the cream, oops, since we blended for the other ingredients, maybe we do blend this with the. I want this to be a little bit finer in the cream, and then the crust can be a little bit more porous. But yeah, this we can even blend a little bit more in the blender when we make the cream. So, how much did I use? This is about half cup. I probably will need a little bit more. What am I doing here? You don't know. This is life. So maybe half a cup for the crust, and then we just use bananas. Yeah, it's always surprising. People always think, how do you make a cake? This doesn't look good. But at the end, it will be all good, and you'll be surprised. I promise.
That's the important part.
Yeah, she doesn't have any ingredients to make a cake. What is she talking about? I'll have ingredients. Trust me. So I would say 2 bananas. This is the first time I actually do this. I never made carob powder before, to be honest. Yeah, I buy carob powder, and then those parts I just ate. But he gave me so many carob, so much carob. So I thought, well, I want to make my powder. So I just use a fork and then I munch the banana with the carrot powder, and we'll see how dry it is, if it's already dry enough. And, yeah, it is really moist, to be honest. It's more like a mush. I guess we need a lot of carrot to make this. The other thing I have here is psyllium husk, which is just, do you know psyllium husk? Hello! It's a fiber. It's just the whole of a plant. It kind of looks like the plantain weed, the seeds, and they have a hull. It's just 100% fiber. So they remove the hull of the seed, and then they can sell it. So usually, it's also prescribed for diarrhea or even constipation. So it makes your bowels move very well. So it's really healthy, but it doesn't taste good if you mix it in water. So I prepare my desserts always with it. So you can even put a little of psyllium in here to make it more firmer. Because yeah, bananas are actually really watery, to be honest. So maybe 1 tablespoon here. Yeah.
I'm gonna run out for you, but I hope I'll be back before you're finished.
Okay, sure. No, this is a little bit liquid. I don't know if it will thicken up much, but it's okay. You know, it's always, you want to prepare something and make something new, and maybe you get something else that you didn't expect. So we're not gonna call it a cake.
A
We're gonna
mousse.
call it a pudding then.
Yeah.
You can also dry your bananas a little bit, so you have more.
I didn't know we're having a live class. That's why we come.
Yeah, I always do live classes. No matter what happens. If the world goes down, I'm gonna still make live classes.
What's in there? Banana and psyllium husk?
Oh, here? Oh, yeah, you didn't see that? We'll make homemade carrot powder and a dessert. Oh, did you see it on the screen? Oh, no, wait, yeah, we make homemade carrot powder and a dessert. And this is Carob from a tree. It's even local. You know Saint John's wort?
Oh, yes.
Yeah, and this is it. So you eat the pods, not the seeds. The seeds are rock hard. You can't eat the seeds. And we grinded it up in a coffee grinder. So we removed the seeds with my stone tool. And then we grinded it up here. We can make it a little bit finer in the blender. And I have munched bananas with the carrot powder. And I thought it will be a little bit more firm, but I don't have that much carrot powder now, so maybe it will also firm up a little bit. That's for sure.
If you added like almond meal, would that firm it up?
Yeah, and also this will firm it up a lot. And also the carrot will probably suck the moisture as well.
Maybe if you used a banana that's not so ripe. Maybe
Yeah,
that
but it won't be
as
sweet. It
soft.
will be more starchy then. The banana will be more starchy. These bananas might be also a little bit more drier and more different in texture. But you can also dry your bananas a little bit, just a little bit, and then mash it together. Or you just have it a little bit more softer. That's fine too. Are you sure? Let me taste this a little bit. Crust.
It'll still taste very good even if it's not crusty or whatever.
Pudding.
Yeah, it tastes actually really good. Oh my god.
So
And
you just did bananas, the carob, did you put the psyllium husk in there as well?
I did put 1 tablespoon of psyllium husk in there, which never can hurt really. You just have to drink a little bit more water. after, but you'll have beautiful bowel movements.
There's not much taste in Sicilian hospital.
No, there's no taste in it. It will take away a little bit of the sweetness sometimes, so you have to be careful with the psyllium. Sometimes if you make a sweet pudding or something, then it can happen that it'll take away your... Let's make this a little bit more to find out how to put. Okay, I'll just blend this a little bit. Powder you can make in your blender. But yeah, as I said, I wouldn't put the bigger pieces of the pots directly in the blender because it might scratch the plastic. But if you grind it first in your coffee grinder, and that is not really powerful, then you can grind it in the blender after. Okay, I'll put a little bit here. The rest will just go in off the. It'll be a lot of carob actually.
Yum.
It's so chocolatey. And leave that here. It's probably also half a cup of carob, or maybe even less. Oh my God, I should measure. Maybe it's less. I mean, it also depends how much you take of avocado and. So for our cream, we'll take really nice medjool dates. If you send me an email, I also can send you the links where I get my carob medjool dates. So probably like, how much do you take?
Those are also grown in California, right?
Yeah, they grow in California, and south of California or Arizona as well. Yeah, California dates are good. So the avocados, everything grows in California. We're really lucky here.
Yeah.
Three, probably four. Four dates, and then how many avocados? It's a small avocado, so maybe we'll take 2 avocados.
How do you know if they're ripe?
The avocados, they will be a little bit softer. So if you cut it, I mean, this is a little bit on the firmer side, but
I always mess up when I buy avocado. Just
no,
like
it's hard sometimes. Yeah.
Jeff Bravo said if you take the little stem part out and it's green underneath.
That's exactly, yeah.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah, then it's not spoiled, at least. I mean, if it's brown, it's spoiling.
I
there's
like
this
to take it
little-
home and it's all brown.
But for example, look, so this has this little thing, so if I take it off, it's kind of like still brownish, so it's still good.
It's like on the inside.
You just have to develop the feeling of it,
Yeah,
just by
force
doing
it.
it. You just have to buy bad ones and then.
Yeah, that's what I've done.
Or if you buy them when they're still hard, then you can let them ripen for. 2
Yeah, you
days.
can let them ripen, but sometimes they're so rock hard that they don't ripen. And
I've had that, yeah.
they need to be, I don't know, they just need to be, just feel them, and they don't have any like spots in them, you know? You don't have to squish them, but you'll just feel them, they're more smooth on the outside, and then not super, super rock hard. You already can kind of sense it, and yeah.
And then cross your fingers.
And then cross the fingers, yeah. But honestly, all avocados I bought here locally, in California, they're so good, even from the compost. Because I wanted to eat avocados right away when I was traveling and I was on the road, and the avocados were still hard, so I had to let them ripen. And then they had the compost, and I said, can I take some of the compost? And he said, yeah, you take as many as you want. And then I took really big ones, really nice ones, super soft, and I could eat them right away. So you can even get them for free from the compost here. And they were always pretty good. The ones that I bought here in California, the local ones, always really good.
Is that from the farmer's market?
No, here they don't have them here from the farmers market. You have to drive a little bit more south. Those are really on the edge, so they could ripen a little bit more. Yeah, here you don't get them from the farmers market, but Santa Cruz, that area already has really nice avocados. Last time I got bacon, they call bacon avocados. Never had them, but they're super big and super creamy.
It tastes the same though, right?
Taste is pretty similar, yeah. It was just really creamy. Yeah, they all taste pretty much quite tasteless. So this might be not a good food combination for some people. Fat and sweet, but I mean that tastes
It tastes good.
It's gonna taste good. And I do also need a little bit of water to make to blend it better. Also the dates are really dry, so I will need a little bit of water. But I will also use a little bit of mycelium to make it then more firm after. I don't know, maybe this is also firming up because it's not bad. You can still feel it's a little bit crispy, the carob is a little bit crispy, but it'll suck the moisture if you let it sit for a while even. So I need some water, so maybe like a quarter cup for now. And then I just want to blend it up really well. Half cup of water at least, to just blend it up really well.
Do we get to lick the bowl?
Without a temper, so it is also working without a temper. Just gonna this knife is really invisible. Never find it. Just loosen it up on the side. The carob was a little bit sticking on the side. Yeah, so the little disadvantage with carob, especially if it's raw carob, it won't color your avocado brown so much, like chocolate, so it doesn't look like chocolate really. So that's the only downside of it. If you use the roasted carob, it will even turn this a little bit more brown, but I don't use any roasted. I don't use anything that was cooked or. I think I need to do more water with it. Yeah, it's really thick. Also, the avocado is actually really, really thick. Yeah, if it had a temper, maybe that's definitely helpful. You see And then I want to make put some psyllium in there too to firm it up a little bit. So it's okay to have a little bit more water. At the end. Yeah, it's always hard, but you don't want to put too much water in at the end. So I put the water a little bit and then a little bit of psyllium too. So it makes it, the psyllium makes it replaces like the coconut oil that they use for raw vegan desserts. I don't use coconut oil apparently, it's SOS-free oil. But then instead I use the psyllium husk, which makes it more fluffy and it firms it up without the oil. The oil is just too much too. It doesn't taste even good. So I would also use maybe half a tablespoon. Yeah, that's really creamy actually.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. It really depends how much how firm you want it. If you want to have it more firm, you would put more psyllium in. If you have the temper, of course you can even make it more firmer. But I like it a little bit more, not so super firm, a little bit more fluffy. We could even put a little bit more of the psyllium in here. It also depends how much water you put in, you know? It all depends. But you want to put the psyllium in later, because it will be too firm, and then you can really blend it in. So maybe at the end I did use a tablespoon, kind of. Let's put this in quick. Okay, so we have our cream. It does smell pretty good. It is still green. That's the little downside.
Green dessert.
It tastes like chocolate. Oh, pistachio. We could call it a pistachio nougat. How about that?
Yeah, there you go.
A little bit of crushed pistachio.
Okay. Make this here.
It doesn't taste like chocolate.
Now we just want to
Yeah.
finish fast and taste this stuff.
Yeah, me too. You can eat very milk then. I guess we better get to taste it.
You can taste it if you want to.
Oh, I can't, I
They're
want to.
fasting.
Oh, you're fasting?
Me.
Oh.
Oh, yeah. We are.
Only
Well, you can sniff it then.
Only got me.
Oh, wow, it's all-
I'll let you know.
That's right.
It's so full here. Let me taste this one. Let's do a taste test. Could be a little bit sweeter, to be honest. I put 4 dates in there. Okay. So in case, okay, we also like troubleshooting here a lot. In case your is not sweet enough, you can just make it more sweet with another layer.
You have more bananas.
I have more dates.
Ah.
But I don't want to put this cream back on, so we'll keep this cream as it is. That's fine. It is definitely, it's creamy and has the carob. Maybe I would put some more carob in there too. You can take a little bit more carob. But yeah, so I would have that a little bit more sweeter. So I would do, okay, we do have a little bit of, we have a dirty blender, but you know what, it's not that tragic, it's fine to blend some ingredients into each other. At home, I also don't want to wash my blender unnecessary, just keep the rest in here, it's fine. I do a lot of troubleshooting here. So we're just going to use some dates and make a syrup and put it on top. So important. You know, sometimes problems arise for us to have a better solution.
I make date syrup every week.
Date syrup you make every week? Yeah, it's so easy. So let's make date syrup, so you know about date syrup. I love maple syrup, especially the homemade maple syrup from my friend Violet in Massachusetts. She makes her own. It's really good. But I wouldn't eat it so often. If I, oh, this is something that you can't see. I have here 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's do 4 again. Oh yeah, she's making her own. I would eat a little bit, but I wouldn't eat too much of it because it's basically like high fructose corn syrup or fructose syrup. You know, it's basically that.
And no fiber.
And no fiber at all. Yeah. So how you can make similar like maple syrup? We just dates and water, and that's it. Okay, 4 dates we have here.
That's it?
Yeah, that's
I
it.
paid $10 for a little water date syrup.
Yeah. And that's all it is water.
Wow.
Where is, oh here. We do have a little bit of cream in there, but that's okay. If you have a little bit more volume, then you also can blend it a little bit better. So it still has a little bit of bits, but I think that's fine for our purpose. You can just pour it on top. And it actually looks a little bit nicer, and we have it a little bit sweeter. Yeah, it still has a few bits in here, so these are actually a little bit too big. You can make it a little bit finer.
I like
That's
it.
good.
You can take that to a mainstream potluck.
Yeah. People always like my dessert, even they are not vegan even. Even the non-vegans like my dessert. Yeah.
You could
And
just
then-
stir that in with that. You could stir the leftover of that in with your
Yes,
green.
yeah. It doesn't have a lot, but we can make a little bit more and put it on there. And then eat it. Yeah, it could also be a pudding. I mean, I was gonna make a cake, but maybe the crust is not crusty enough, so I'll call it pudding.
Sure.
But it might be a cake. We'll see. We don't know yet. So with a strainer, you can make it a little bit nicer. I forgot the strainer here, but I would just pour a little bit of carrot powder on top of this.
Herb powder is sweet all by itself.
Isn't? I'm gonna ask that, but I kept going.
Yeah, it is. It has a little bit of sweetness. You can try the whole pots here too.
Wish
Oh
tomorrow.
yeah. Well, you can take it with you.
Oh, thanks, I'm gonna try tomorrow. Oh, I'm gonna wait a couple more juice first.
It's also nice.
Better to do more than me.
That's why I didn't put so many dates in because I thought maybe the dates are not really sweet. And that's the thing, you always have to taste it, even if a recipe calls for 5 dates or something. Maybe your dates are not that sweet this time, and you always have to taste and adjust. And if it's not that sweet how you like it, you just can always make a syrup and then pour it on top. Then a little bit of powder. If you have a strainer and then you put the strainer on top and then you distribute it, that's a little bit easier and nicer. But I didn't have it.
Fantastic.
So this is my cake.
Beautiful.
You look fantastic.
Then let's cut it and see how it looks when you cut it actually. I mean, usually you would let it set maybe for an hour in the fridge and then it will firm up a little bit better. Also the crust will
Get a
probably,
whole bowl.
yeah. Oh, let's make also a little bit more syrup for this cream, so you can just taste the cream as well, just as a pudding. It didn't take me even 1 hour. It was pretty quick. I made a similar cake recently, and the crust was just bananas. I just sliced bananas and then put them on the bottom, and then the avocado cream with dates and carob, and then yeah, that was fine too.
In other words, you can get creative. You
Yeah,
Yeah,
raw food is like
raw food is just so delicious.
very creative.
The food already grows perfect for us. We don't have to do a lot of it. We just have a little bit of fun, but okay, I'm just gonna. So I blend a little bit finer. Oh yeah, see, it looks really nice. Syrup. Ooh, it's a lot. Okay, let's leave it like that.
So these pods, you just buy them on Amazon or something? The pods, the cacao pods.
Yeah, so no,
Carrot.
carrot. Oh yeah, the carrot, you eat the pods, you don't eat the seeds.
She got them from a friend here in California. Here before.
How I made
You
the
can't order them.
how I made the powder, I just use my little stone tools. I don't know, you can use a hard surface and a hammer, but I like my stones, so just gonna hammer it a little bit so I can take out the seeds that are in here. Oops. I'll take it later. And yeah, those are the seeds, and they're really rock hard.
You throw
And
those
then-
out and just have.
Yeah, you throw these out, you can plant them, and then you just eat this here. You can just put it here too. If you want to try a little piece, you can also take a little piece. But you can also chew it like this.
And it's sweet-ish,
Yeah, it's like a chocolate waffle.
nice.
That's really good. And then you will see the seeds, they're hard. You can chew them. And you will take them out. I didn't get the seed.
That's a good
There's
snack.
seed. And you just spit out the seed. And that's really good as a snack. You can put it in your pocket like St. John's.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm. That's really good.
you can get them online, right?
You can get them online. Those were harvested by my friend Sebastian in San Rafael, which is really not far away. So it grows here locally.
Nice.
But the whole crust you can get online, or you can buy the whole little powder already made. And let's cut in this cake here. Let's see how. Well, it's very soft. Maybe it's more like a pudding. But you get the idea. I mean, you can make it, firm it up a little bit more. Maybe you can also use a different crust. It's just an idea how you make creams and how you can firm up creams and then create your own recipes. It's not bad, I mean.
Not
Yeah,
bad, no.
came out
And if it's in the fridge,
firmer
it
than
gets
I
better.
thought.
Yeah, it will firm up a little bit more.
Yeah, nice.
So who's eating?
One little one.
Oh, you are. Oh. And me. I'm gonna eat too. I'm gonna eat it for you, you know? Oh, this was your spoon.
There you go.
You wanna have it?
I do.
Oh, did you lose an earring?
Didn't have any earrings
Oh,
on.
you don't, oh, you didn't have any? Oh, that's good.
That's what I lost.
Okay, look at this cake. It's not bad. It will firm up in the fridge a little bit more. Even the crust is not bad. Also, the crust will firm up with the.
Exotic banana pudding.
Pudding? No pudding, huh?
I like those mousse cakes, you know, the mousse, where you do the different layers and stick it in the fridge.
Also, I would put more. Do you want some more date syrup, maybe? It is not sweet enough for me. I don't know about you. You think it's sweet
Well,
enough?
I think it's wonderful.
Okay. Otherwise, you always can put some more date syrup on. Or next time, put a little more dates or use sweeter dates. I don't know. Last time they were super, super sweet and I didn't use that much. But they're always different. It's pretty good.
So is the Sicilian husk just used to thicken things
Some place to cook on, I don't know what you said.
in place of coconut?
Yeah.
So bulks it up and gives it
Mm-hmm.
Makes it lighter?
more together.
Fluffy, yeah, it is more fluffy. It's not like if you use coconut oil to firm raw vegan cheesecakes up, it's so concentrated. It's really, really heavy.
Yeah.
But this makes it doesn't have any fat. This is just fiber. It looks a little bit messy.
Well, instead of writing it all down, I have a push chart.
It's not bad. I mean, you can also try just the pudding itself, just the cream if you want to.
Oh, will she?
Her little eyes light up. Now something's chewy in there.
Mm.
Is it the carob that's chewy?
I think it's still the carob and the crush. That's not chewy in the cream, huh?
It's delicious. I like the chewy part. So,
Okay.
That's
Yeah, I
the
didn't
crust,
mind
I
it.
guess, right? The
Mhm.
crust is chewy.
Yeah, for the crust, I didn't grind the carob that much.
and it had more time to soak up.
Yeah, if it has more time to soak up, it will be less crunchy, maybe. Okay. All right, that was my cake for today.
Yay!
And how to make your own carrot, and what is carrot?
Can we send you an email? What do we need to say in the email?
I put my email under that, on the board there.
And so what does it need to say though? Send me, is it today's thing, or what did you tell me to ask you for?
Oh, you can just
A
write me and
list.
then I'll send you links about my, I put this also on my YouTube channel, all the food demos, and I'll have a list of foods. nuts,
And where you
regular
get the carob.
seaweed.
Did you send, was it the same email you sent out in your last box? Because I got that one.
Okay, good.
That's what I was.
Yeah, it
I
has
wanted to make
the
sure
raw
it was
carrot
something-
powder. It doesn't have that. I don't even know where to get this, but you'll find it on. If you Google raw carrot pots, they have, sometimes they have it on Amazon. It's kind of hard to find, unfortunately. I got a lot locally here. You can also try find a tree in California. Or, like people like my friend Sebastian, he's also online. If you contact him, maybe he'll start selling it.
Yeah.
That would be nice.
Nuts.com.
I can give you his contact too.
Yeah, do that. Let's have this contact. But, they have it on nuts.com.
Nuts.com?
Nuts.com.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you'll find it somewhere
But I would
online.
love to get it from here, if we could get it from him, I would love to have that.
Mhm.
Say, you've got several people that would love to buy some.
Okay, good. Send me an email and then I'll send you.
Okay. Sebastian.
He's not
I'm
prepared.
doing that right now, because if I don't do it right now, I will not remember.
Okay. Yeah, and then also if you buy the powder, so I clean them with a dry cloth. Because sometimes you have some critters on there, or it is from a tree. But if you buy the powder, they don't look at that so closely. They will just put it all in, make a powder. Nobody knows what's in there. That's what they do. Yeah, that's industrial food, really, in large scale. They don't have the time, but if you get the whole pot, you can see, is it fresh? How does it look inside? Is it moldy? And then you make it fresh yourself. It's a little bit more work, but
Better.
it's not bad, right?
Better.
It's a great snack.
So what's the difference?
It's a
Yeah,
great
I'm
snack
thinking of
too.
it as a snack.
Yes, it is a really great snack.
I don't know anything about this stuff, so what's the difference between the carob and the cacao? I'm getting mixed up.
Cacao? Cacao is a tropical fruit,
Oh, okay.
and they use the seed of that fruit. It looks like a football, the American football kind of shape, but different. I mean, not like football, but
They use the seed.
but then it has not a lot of flesh. It has a lot of seeds, and the seeds they ferment. Sometimes they roast it as well, but you can buy raw fermented cacao. They need to ferment it because it's toxic, really. So the fermentation process will take away the toxins, but it will still have a lot of fat. It has 50% fat, the whole cacao beans, and it has a little bit of caffeine or a similar compound that's similar to caffeine that has the same effects for people that are sensitive as well. I'm not so sensitive. I more have the problem with so much fat. It has 50% fat. If you buy the cacao powder, they take away a little bit of the fat, so it still has 10% fat. So that's the difference. So you eat the cacao seeds of the fruit. Here, you don't eat the seeds. You eat the pod, and this doesn't have any fat. It's very, very low in fat. It's natural, a little bit more sweet, and it has a lot of fiber. It lowers blood sugar. There's studies that show that this lowers blood sugar and blood pressure as well. So it has a lot of antioxidants. Cacao has also antioxidants. So some people see the benefits or feel the benefits from cacao. I use it, I don't know, very, very rarely, maybe once a year. I don't know if I ever will use it. I really like Carob. But both have this chocolatey taste in it. It doesn't have a lot of chocolate taste in this year.
It mostly tastes like banana and it's fabulous. Maybe nostalgic for banana.
So if I taste this year, this tastes more like a chocolate waffle. Maybe you want to use even more Carob. But they also say that the cacao taste comes out with more roasting it, that they roast it. But I'm really against roasting that.
You
Just
could,
really
like,
sadly destroy it.
you could put it in the dehydrator for a while or something, right? Would would that like sort of make it
No,
more
it's
dry?
not really roasting. Really dehydrated. And it's already dry pretty much. It could be, well, if you leave it for longer, you store it for longer, then it will get a more concentrated taste. But it's not bad.
I imagine you can store it for a long time, it's dry.
Yeah, and you can store it for a long time. This is from last year's harvest, so.
Good. Thank you, I got some things cleared up about cacao and Carob.
It's really not like chocolate, but it has just a tiny bit, maybe a hint.
Can't wait to get some.
That is very healthy and nice. So.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming. And I'll eat the rest.